It's Wednesday, the 20th of December 2023. Hello and welcome to the newspaper review here on TAP TV, where we analyze and dissect trending and catchy headlines every day. I am Obed Jerry, your host for today, and with me here is Ekon Bright, your football AI. Welcome. Together we'll be doing the papers. How are you, Mr. Bright? How are you doing mentally? Like, I will continue asking till this year comes to an end.
I'm good currently. It's a new day, and we thank God for life.
Exactly.
Yeah, basically that's all we once you are part of the living, there's this hope for
when there's life,
there's life, there's hope. So there's this hope for something good to happen during the day, or maybe the next hour, the next minute. So in between, where we tend to be like, oh, nothing is actually working out for the country in general, but at the same time, we as Nigerians, we are hopeful people, and we tend to survive every day of our lives living on our hustle and our struggle. So in all of this, like the Bible portion always say, in every situation that you find yourself, you give glory to God. So I'm happy to be here today once more, talking about trendy things happening in the Nigeria as a whole and the front pages of the newspaper. So we tend to look at what's going on in Nigeria, what catches the eyes of the ordinary man, and we tend to give our own opinion about it. So we just hope everything comes to a greater light and hope Nigeria becomes better. That's our hope.
Exactly. All right, you too can also be a part of this show. Do well to subscribe, turn on the notification button, like our videos, share, comment, follow us across all our social media handles so that when we drop videos like this, you get to get it firsthand. All right, without wasting much of our time, let's look into the newspaper for the day. We're looking at the first newspaper. It's the Guardian newspaper, and it's leading, "Tell Tinubu truth, not what he hears in Villa. Fire me advises Ganduje." Details of the story is found on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Bandits abduct police officers, monarch, pregnant women, 13 others in Taraba. Sad story. Details of the story is found on page 29 of the Guardian newspaper. Telcos may lose subscribers as NCC orders total bar of unleaked SIMs. Details of the story is found on page 15 of the Guardian newspaper. Falana Clark, Rivers elders slam Tinubu's unconstitutional peace deal. All right, we see at the bottom story here, it reads, NLC flays federal government over cash scarcity, seeks liquidity to meet demands. Details of the story is found on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. You see, we are still battling over this cash scarcity issue.
It's something that always happens over time when it comes to seasons like this, and it's not a new story, and we've been talking about this, if I'm not mistaken, since the beginning of December, where we had some banks complaining that there is no much cash to go around for people going around to say that even the POS agents are increasing their tariffs in terms of how much they charge to withdraw a certain amount of money that they need for themselves, which was 2 times what they usually charge. And this would continue to go on and on.
And you know how Nigeria is, whatever amount that comes out, it goes down.
Definitely. And if the CBN governor does not act on it, it's going to lead to something else. And that is what Nigerians don't want. We don't want any sort of chaos come this festive period. And we know it's just how many days to Christmas? 5 days to Christmas. And we know a whole lot of things is going to happen with this short period of time. And if people don't have access to their own money that is being kept in the bank, I don't know what's going to happen.
All right, still on the newspapers here, we see here, it reads, police in Anambra nab couple who bought month-old babies for 30,000 naira. I check that again. Police in Anambra nab couple who bought month-old baby for 30,000 naira. Details of the story is found on page 8 of the Guardian newspaper. We see at the main story here, it reads, despite 9.56 trillion naira allocation in 5 years, 774 local governments still underdeveloped. And that's all we'll be taking on the Guardian newspaper. What are your thoughts, Bright, on this headline?
Well, looking at the Guardian newspaper this morning, the story that really caught my attention was the headline that I read about the allocation that has been given to local governments over time.
For 5 good years.
And it's amounting up to trillions of naira, if I'm not mistaken, 9.56 trillion naira. And it's, people would see that kind of money and feel like there should be a huge development in our local government spanning from good roads, good health sector, electricity,
security.
education, security, and all of that. But if I'm not mistaken, we could go to the localities, the streets, our local streets, in the roads in the streets, and other basic amenities that should be functioning for citizens, that ordinary citizens to benefit from. But we are not enjoying that. Roads are bad, healthcare facilities is not top notch. We found out that the security in our environment is whack, and things are not being done. Now, the local government chairman, they are complaining that these funds that are supposed to be given to them are being hoarded by the state government, which is not supposed to be. Now, all this is happening because there is a joint account with the state government and the local government. So whatever allocation,
it's supposed to be a different account.
Now, the local government are clamoring for a separate account in terms of where the federal government should allocate whatever budget is coming to them that should be paying to that account, so they can carry out their basic function to their basic localities. But this is not how it is contrary to what is happening today. Now, what we find happening today is the fact that both the local government account and the state government account are being merged, in the sense that whatever money that the federal government is paying into the local government for them to carry out their basic amenities for the citizens in their localities is being put in that account. And the state governor has the right to hold that money, and he is the one to give out whatsoever money to the local government. And it's frustrating, whereby as a local government chairman, you are going to the state governor to ask for your money, because it is your money that is being given to you by the federal government for what you are supposed to do for your local government. And we find out that even this money, some of them are internal generated revenue gotten from the local government in terms of your tariffs, radio, tenants rates, and all other sort of local taxes that are being gotten from the local government.
And even these companies and refineries and what have you that are in this environment, they do pay taxes.
Yeah, they
do pay rent.
Yeah, definitely. And even these companies that you're looking at, there's what we call giving back to the society. Definitely.
Exactly.
Their basic
philanthropic activities.
Yeah, definitely. Randomly, and carrying out some kind of welfare package for the localities, for citizens that are living around such environment. Now, the truth about this whole issue is based on the fact that prior to this time, the act that was in the constitution, I think it was brought into the constitution in the 1979 constitution, where there is the joint account stuff came in, and we found out that governors in each state were using that to siphon money for themselves, not giving money meant for local government chairmen to carry out their basic amenities to their localities, not giving them the said amount that is supposed to be given to them. And what they normally do is to tell them, okay, we are giving you this 8 million or 10 million naira project to do in your local government, which is not supposed to be. This money are meant for these people to use to carry out their basic activities in their local government. Now, come the, I think, 1983, if I'm not mistaken, during the military rule, we found out that this act, where the constitution wasn't able to function anymore, we found out that local government chairman at that point in time, in their various localities, we are able to carry out some basic functions that are that are beneficiary to the people that they are ruling. And because of this joint account that is being happening currently, we find out that people are not even taking that much interest in local government elections, because we find that just as the federal or the national level have interest in who becomes the state governor, so also the state governor has interest who become the local government chairman in the state. And this is being done just because they feel like there is this overhaul whereby people are not being able to see what is normally happening. Now, we as ordinary citizens, we are not seeing the nitty-gritties or the discrepancies.
It's like a smoke screen. They just get to see
what is really happening in the government in actuality. And this is not good for us, because now we don't have access to pipe-borne waters. We don't have access to good educational structures and infrastructures in our local government. We don't have good roads, and for this, it's a bit funny and a slap to our face, whereby the rule of law is not taking its normal act, in the sense that we have the powers that are meant for the federal government to act on, for the state government and also the local government. There is separation of power, and where this is not coming into being, where the state government is carrying out the activities that is meant for the local government to carry out, then what is the need for a local government to be functioning? What is the need of creating a local government council?
If you know you cannot let them play their role, then what is the need in letting that position be? Why not just scrap it out and just do the work? Since you want to do it.
This is what you want to do. Why not do it yourself and scrap out the
instead of making an
institution of local government
from behind?
Yeah, definitely. And what we are seeing out currently now, let's go back to one basic eye opener that Nigerians are forgetting to see or are turning eyes away from. Now we know that in the local government, in the constitution, some of the basic things or amenities or some of the basic rights for the local governments to carry out, some of their duties, for them to carry out their roles to play, is the fact that, do you know, in outdoor advertising, they are the ones that are supposed to get the taxes and manage the affairs and all of that. And you also
fight in that soil.
Yeah, definitely. And also, do you know that the local government are supposed to be the one in charge of catering for our refuse, taking away refugees and all of that? But we find out that currently it is the state government that is handling that, which is not supposed to be. So if you take all the functions,
what role would
the local government play in the lives of their locality, in the citizens of their locality?
And it's more like shifting the local government from being closer to the people.
Definitely. Now, every citizen will be like, oh, my local government, they are not doing anything. But look at the amount of money that have been given to them in the last 5 years. It's an eyesore. People will come out and say, oh, they are not doing that much. They are not doing anything at all. But we forget to find out that it is the state government that is actually siphoning money, siphoning their duties, and even playing the role that the local government is supposed to play. So at this point in time, I think it's high time that we call for the president or the Senate or the National House of Assembly,
just any concerned,
to look into this matter. There should be a bill. I think there was a bill of sorts that was passed previous time and it didn't come into law. I think this is the right time for them to look at that bill again
and make it stand,
whereby the local government should have a separate account different from the state government, so that each of these parastatals can carry out their basic functions, and we can hold
should do is just monitor the activities and
definitely
for accountability and credibility.
And if this is done, I feel like every citizen would be able to say, okay, yes, we can hold the state government responsible for this, or we can hold the local government chairman responsible for the fact that he is not being able to carry out his basic duties in his local government.
Exactly. All right, let's move away from that story and look into the next newspaper for the day. We'll be looking at the Vanguard newspaper here. We see at the top story reads, $19 billion. Dangote refinery gets another 1 million barrel of crude oil. Details of the story is found on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. Zenith Bank listed on World Finance exclusive list of 100 top global companies. Details is found on page 19. Naira scarcity unacceptable, says Labour. Details is found on page 9. Kaduna bombing, anyone found culpable will be punished, says CDS. Details is found also on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. We see here the main story reads, no price too big for peace in Rivers, says Fubara. Sub-story under that reads, PDP, Clark, Ijaw nations, Rivers elders reject Tinubu's peace accord. Details is found on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Right, what are your thoughts on this coming from the governor? No price too big for peace, meaning they can risk and sacrifice anything sacrificable to attain peace in Rivers State.
Now, from the story, what people are saying, or what is the rounds making that particular story, is looking at the present governor of Rivers State, similarly Fubara, coming out to say in his speech in the last convocation that was held in Rivers State at a particular university here in Rivers. In his speech, he said that there was no price to pay, too big to pay for peace to be returned back to Rivers State. And people are saying is that there is a compromise. There's a compromise going on, and his followers and supporters are frowning at this particular statement, owing to the fact that there was a meeting at the presidential villa where the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Tinubu, was trying to broker peace between the FCT minister, a former governor of Rivers State, Yeson Wike, and also the current governor of Rivers State, Fubara. And there were some basic terms and conditions that was put on the table.
As it should.
Yeah. Now, funny enough, if you read the paper, you will find out that these terms and conditions seems to be a one-sided factor in, and it's not even something negotiable. The people of Rivers State and the elders and PDP in general and the clerk are looking at it as a
dead on arrival.
It is a slap to Rivers State in general, not just this set of people, but the citizens of Rivers State. It is a slap owing to the fact that this looks like a setup, and it's funny that Fubara himself is not seeing the bigger picture.
He's not seeing it.
Yeah, because if you look at the outlines of that particular peace broker document or whatever they call it, the first statement there was saying that the impeachment plans that these 27 people, that House members rather, that transferred, that defected from PDP to APC, that whatever plans of impeachment that has been put in the minds of those people and the people of Rivers State, that it should be withdrawn and never come to light. Now, another point on that particular broker also states that the case of Fubara and the House members and the state governments here in Rivers State against these 27 persons or 25 persons rather should be withdrawn, and also that these 27 persons or 25 persons rather should be sent back into the house.
And everything goes normal, like nothing ever happened.
Like nothing ever happened. And it was also said that after the meeting in general...
Okay, sorry to cut short. If this, let's say, Fubara now, the governor, chooses to implement this thing by instating them, would they defect back to their previous
now
party?
This is where now you didn't let me finish. Now in all of this there were 8 agendas on that particular broker for peace to come back to Rivers State, and at the reading of this 8 stuff agenda, we found out that at the end of it that Fubara ascended to that particular deal or whatever peace broker that they had, and the people of Rivers State are saying that Fubara has been blindsided, he has been brainwashed, and they see it as like a political attack, a political coup on Fubara, knowing fully well that he was the only one as part of the team that was present in that meeting.
No other person represented.
Now, the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, State House, was present in the meeting, not Edison Ehie, which is not supposed to be. If the former was there, why not the present being part of it?
There.
And we also find out that Shetima and also Yeson Wike was also present at that meeting. So it was like
a one-sided.
He was outnumbered.
Okay, like outnumbered and under pressure.
And people feel like he was pressured and he just gave his consent to that. But it was later said that by his clerk that people that came for that meeting signed in before they could enter the meeting, and he felt like they took his signature from the attendant list and placed on the form or whatever document of that they used to broker the peace that they were trying to agree on. Now, other statesmen in Rivers State are saying that it is not done, that the president is trampling on the rule of law. Now, even if you want to broker peace among these persons,
it's not this pattern.
Why not go through the process of the rule of law? Why trying to go behind or go beside the rule of law? Now, in that sense,
a subtle way.
Now, what they are saying in essence is the fact that, owing to the fact that this 27 person, because the news was that it was 27 person that actually defected to APC, but 2 persons came back to the party. So owing that it was 25 person. Now, these 25 persons that defected, it is under constitution that if I come into office under a political party and I defect into another party, it is by law that seat becomes relinquished and be made reinstated. Now, these persons, if they want to contest for that same seat, they have to contest under the new party that they are under as new contestants under that political party for that same seat. Now, the president is saying they should go back to that seat. Now, this is trampling on the court judgment, the High Court judgment on that particular issue. So are we saying that the president is bigger than the rule of law? Is it bigger than the judiciary? Is it trampling on the verdict of the judge of the High Court concerning this particular case? So there's a whole lot of buzz going around this particular issue at this point in time. Beyond that, even the Ijaw community, national community, are also backing the idea of Fubara being like placed in a state of political coup whereby his voice is not being heard, and the decision that was said that he signed that particular document was falsified. Now they are saying that, according to the clerk, he said Fubara left the meeting without saying anything. So whatever judgment or whatever that conclusion that they came up and coming out to the media to say that he agreed to that particular document, to that particular broker of peace, that is false. And they are saying they can even sue the president.
Exactly, it's what's suing
for this particular act. Now there is a whole lot of buzz going around.
But the governor is yet to come out and debunk the news himself.
Yeah, he has come out to debunk it, but now that is where this particular headline is coming from.
He's not being straightforward.
Yeah, he's coming out to say there is no price too big. So people are saying, is it really true?
Did
he really sign
to sacrifice anything to bring peace, or what exactly is he insinuating?
If truly he signed that particular document to broker peace, like he said, then I think, forgive me to say this, but there is a bigger picture that we, the ordinary citizens, are not seeing. Maybe there are promises. There's something going on that we are not seeing, and until that unfolds, we don't know what the state of Rivers would look like. But until that particular time, and until the elders of Rivers State, they have come out to say that they are not in support of Fubara or whatever signature that he appended on that document. Even the Ijaw National Committee are coming out to say the same thing, and even the clerk of the house is coming out to say the same. So there is a kind of different view from this party to that of the governor of the state, but we know that the governor of the state has the final say of whatever thing he wants to happen currently in the state. But let's see how this story pan out in the next coming days.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. We'll go for a very quick break. We'll come back and look into the last newspaper for the day. So stay tuned.
Children's Studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
All right, welcome back from that very quick break. I must commend you for staying up till this time. Let's look into the last newspaper for the day without wasting much of our time. We're looking at the Daily Independent newspaper today, being the 20th day of December 2023. It reads, Fayemi asks Ganduje to tell Tinubu the true state of the country. Details of the story is found on page 9. Zenith Bank listed on World Finance exclusive list of 100 top global companies in 2023. Details is found on page 7 of the Daily Independent newspaper. The main story here reads, PDP rejects Tinubu orders resolution on Rivers crisis. Sub-story under that reads, says defected lawmakers can only be readmitted through election. Another sub-story under that reads, insists INEC fixes date for fresh poll into 25 state constituencies. Details of the story is found on page 29 of the Daily Independent newspaper. We see here at the bottom story reads, extent of Naira devaluation to determine capital base of banks, says CBN. Gunmen kidnapped Taraba monarch, son, pregnant daughter, 18 others. Details is found on page 7 of the Daily Independent newspaper. It's actually a very sad one to hear, especially at this time. And it's even like the government are doing the extreme, abducting a monarch.
Yeah, if I remember vividly, there was a time I said on this particular program that there has not been a day we don't come to discuss what is happening in Nigeria and we don't talk about the insecurity of the nation. And it's a sad one, because it's a sad one that we have not even done settling what was happening like the previous one, yeah. And another one keeps resurfacing.
And it has made us, we Nigerians, make it look like it's a normal lifestyle that keeps happening, which
is not supposed to be. And it keeps being a slap on the Nigerian military and the state police and even in short, it's a slap to Nigerian government in general, because we are their citizens and our lives should be that much important to them. But we tend to find that we go by our every day of our lives being scared of what next might happen. And this act of insurgence and insecurity has been a reoccurrence. And for the people that are living in the north, it's more like their daily life. It's more like that. We saw the one that happened in Zamfara. We saw the one that happened in Nasarawa, and this one also.
And how most of them are flee from their homes.
These places are just close by to each other. These people perpetrating this act are just in one particular place. So why can't the Nigerian military, with the support of the Nigerian police and that of the joint task force of that particular locality, not just go into that region, sweep those places out and get those men out? But we find out that every day new thing keeps happening, and the lives of every of our citizens is being put on threat, or in threat rather. And we find out that this is not going to end anytime soon. And it's crazy that this is a festive period and we don't know what might happen. These persons might stay there up until next year and they might do their Christmas and New Year there. This is not supposed to happen. Now, the most painful part in all of this is that they have a pregnant girl among the captives. So what is the Nigerian police and the state government or the federal government going to do about this so that they can get these persons out? Now, we also heard that even a police personnel, an orderly, was also kidnapped. So
funny.
So what does this tell us about our Nigerian security personnel? What does it tell us about the security? If a monarch can be kidnapped, what about the ordinary man walking on the street?
How did they get to him?
How did they get to him? Now, it was said that this happened in the early hours of, I think on Tuesday, early hours of Tuesday or late night of Tuesday that this happened. And we are not even done with the one that happened in Zamfara where other 10 persons were kidnapped. And this would keep going on and on. We are still talking about the PCM that were kidnapped, where a few persons were released. And the reoccurrence of this is trying to tell us that we, even in our own country, even in the comfort of our homes, in the comfort of our house and our vicinities, we are not secured. The persons that are being paid to secure our lives and our properties are not doing their jobs. We know for a fact that they have families also, but they should, I believe there are trainings or processes, there should be a way for them to be able to get to these guys and stop these acts from reoccurring. And if that is not being done in coming days, these guys are becoming more confident. More confident. Every day they keep coming out to kidnap more people, keep asking for huge amounts of money as ransom. We don't know what might happen in the next coming days. We have not heard the amount of money they will be asking for this monarch and his family and the other 18 people that were kidnapped. But we hope that their lives are safe and they are intact, and we hope that in the next coming days or months, they might be released.
Exactly. We hope for positive news, a positive outcome.
Definitely.
All right, I'm afraid this is where we have to draw our curtains for today. Thank you, Mr. Bright.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming. All right, like I said earlier, you too can also be a part of this show. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us across all our social media platforms. Like our videos. Drop your comments in the comment section. I am Obed Jerry, your host for today, and this has been the Newspaper Review here on TAF TV. Thank you.